Hi, my name is Garrett. I'm the COO and co-founder of Microgreen Manager, and today we're going to talk about putting your first order into the software. Last we left off, we created some blends. So now that we have blends and we have crops, we can go ahead with creating our first order. We'll navigate over to the Orders tab, and the only difference between orders and recurring orders, you can create a one-off order or a recurring order from both tabs. The orders page will list all orders, one-off and recurring orders. But if you want to see just which orders are recurring, you can go over to the recurring orders tab. So today we're just going to talk about creating a one-off order. We'll see we have no orders in here right now. We'll click new order and we'll start to enter some order information. We'll pick a customer name for the National Museum. If you toggle this on, it'll make it a recurring order. We'll talk about those details later, but we'll leave this off. We're going to say it's planned because we know we have ample time to grow the products that we need for this order. We'll pick a delivery day. We'll pick a day well in the future, for example, January 5th. We can add any notes that we want. For example, the National Museum might have a back door with a door code of 1234. And there's a warning here right now that says Microgreen Manager will not stop you from placing an order for which there is not enough time to grow some or all of the crops. In the future, we'll update this to have a pop-up where it explicitly knows if you have enough time or not, and then you can progress with that order if you'd like. So for now, just keep that in mind. Then we can go ahead, adding crops and adding blends. And what you'll notice is that under the Blends tab or Blends Addition, it's only going to give you the option to select the blends you've made. Likewise, under crops, your blends will not show up under here. So we'll place an order for arugula and for nutrition mix, and we will pick the container size. Now, all of your crops and all of your blends will have the option to do a straight ounce unit or a gram unit. There's no structure here, so we could just say we want 50 ounces of arugula. There's no indication of how it's going to be packaged. Likewise, we could do 40 grams of nutrition mix. Again, no structure around how it's going to prompt you to package this. For our crops, you also have a trays option. So if you wanted live trays, you can do that. 5 live trays of arugula. There is no tray option yet for blends. In the future, we'll add functionality for what we call co-planting blends. For example, planting broccoli, cabbage, and kohlrabi, mixing the seed and planting it all in the same tray. Right now, that's not a function, but it's on our list to add in the future. And then there are the options for the sizes we created when we created the crops and created the blends. So for this, we might do arugula, we might do 5 3-ounce containers. And for the nutrition mix, we made a bunch of sizes. We might do 40, let's change that to 4 6-ounce containers. And we can add as many crops and as many blends as we like, but we'll leave it at that right now. So we have all the information, the day this is due. It's a one-off order for the National Museum, and we have our crops here. We'll hit submit, and we'll get a readout here, the order ID number, the fact that it's planned, which means none of the tasks have started yet, the customer name, the delivery date, and roughly a month until it comes due. That's the broad overview. If you click into the link here for the order, we can see some of the information we just put in. The order ID, the fact that it's planned and not yet started, the date that it needs to come due, the total trays that we need to grow in order to fulfill this order. This is going to be a more granular number than the actual total number of trays you'll be planting in reality. The customer name, any notes, and the date this order was created or last modified. The pack list down here is the order contents, the arugula and the nutrition mix. There's a harvest. This is the harvest that is associated with this order. We can see that the total tray count associated with this harvest is actually 9 trays. There's 4 crops involved because there's the arugula and the broccoli, cabbage, and kohlrabi from the nutrition mix. There's 16 tasks required to grow this order, and it's all involved in one order. Down below, we can see our plantings. Again, none of these have started, so they're all in the planned category status. The number of trays needed for each crop to grow and fulfill this order. The number of tasks and harvest time, and then even more granular, all the tasks from planting to weighted germ to underlights to harvest to fulfill this order. You can always click on any of these hyperlinks if you want to see more about the planting, more about the specific task, more about the order, or if you want to look back at the crop information. And what you'll know here is, see these trays, they're given to you in 2 decimal points. That's because that's the specific number of trays you need to grow based on the average yield for those crops in order to fulfill this order. So the sum of these 4 tray counts is the number we're seeing up here. But what we did is we said no farmers or very few farmers are planting partial trays to meet orders. We're planting full 10-20 trays. And so it gives you a little bit of conservative calculation there, a little bit of surplus, just in case your trays under yield or something goes wrong. And so what you're actually doing is you're planting 9 full 10-20 trays. So these are all going to get rounded up to 2 trays, 2 trays, 2 trays, and 3 trays, which gives us 9 trays, which is what's listed here. That's the basic overview for your order receipt and for placing your first one-off order. We'll go over some of the functionality in this dropdown in the future, but that's it for today.